So CNN and Cosmopolitan are teaming up to demonize the so-called manosphere and to throw as many masculine activities into said category as possible. And it's hilarious. Ha! I love it. I'm going to react to the video now. Like and subscribe. Yes? Yes. Let's go.
Bear witness to the fall of civilization, Neo-Barbarian!
CNN's Donnie O'Sullivan got in the cage with former UFC star turned podcaster Jake Shields to explore the manosphere and why exactly it's so popular.
Uh-oh. For those who know, Jake Shields' name gets dropped. You better watch out, Mr. Controversy 1.0. Her face says it all. She's ready for the gotcha moment. Can you taste it?
They speak liberal, they have liberal friends, and then they go online and they are a white supremacist.
This is Vera Papasova. She spent the last year dating far-right men in New York City for a story for Cosmopolitan magazine.
They're the most insecure men I've ever sat down with. It was really difficult to have some of these dates because they were so insecure, because they don't really know who they are and they don't know how to figure that out.
If a woman dates you and has already decided that she's going to break up with you, and the worst thing she can say about you is that you're insecure, you should feel very good about yourself.
Said the men she dated got all their news and information from the so-called manosphere.
They did not listen to anything else. They're only listening to independent media, and they're only listening to men.
She just said independent media. That's a little different than this whole topic of manosphere, right? Independent media just means not CNN. They're a little bitter, I guess.
I'm talking to men.
The manosphere is made up of macho podcasters and influencers.
There's no such thing as an independent female.
Most women have zero concept of like money.
Females don't have independent thought.
Insert Andrew Tate saying something sexist. Now, categorize everything else masculine that requires a molecule of testosterone into said category. Yes, yes, yes.
It's a space where UFC fighters are among those who reign supreme.
They love the UFC guys. They love the MMA guys, because those guys...
These conservative men that I tricked into dates, they love UFC. Yes, yes, that's manosphere as well, yes.
Do what they can. They're modern gladiators. They're badass.
Badass like Jake Shields, a former UFC star turned podcaster.
Sorry. Now I'm starting to feel nervous.
Oh,
thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course.
Who I met.
This gentleman, I'm sure, has no insecurities whatsoever. Not like Jake Shields. Oh, how insecure do you have to be to fight in the UFC?
Met at an MMA gym in Las Vegas.
Like all great MMA pros.
So she, Cosmopolitan girl, she dates from New York, was it? And then now we're in Las Vegas, yes, same thing.
I've never hit anyone in my life.
I'm not punching back. Hit me. No, I sit right here. KO, KO, KO.
This is CNN. Do you miss being full-time pro, like in terms of...
Yeah, you know, of course I miss it. To go from professional athlete, which is the highest of highs, to retirement.
And I guess the
podcast has helped. You could fall into depression if you just go from the most amazing career where you're famous and spotlights to all of a sudden you're a nobody.
Sure.
True. You gotta do something. If you're gonna fall from the spotlight like that, you gotta try something out, right? You can't really blame him for trying.
In the manosphere, Jake regularly hosts controversial guests.
I don't think Jake Shields really qualifies. I don't think he's really on the same level of star power as Andrew Tate. I don't think that's the case. I don't know what we're exactly quantifying here. What is this manosphere really? You're going to have to be more specific.
Name the podcast Fighting Back. I feel like we have to fight back what we're told we're allowed to do. I just don't like to be told you're not allowed to talk to this person. Like, why can't I talk to him? I'm not saying I agree with his ideology, but I should hear what he has to say.
He's hosted the former Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan.
Oh, God. Oh, God. We were with you, Jake Shields, until you brought on the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. Oh, that's a little bit too much.
Very special guest, Dr. David Duke. I knew you're controversial, but I had no idea how controversial.
And Thomas
I have no idea. Yes, you do. You do. Come on. He's David Duke.
Russo, the leader of the white supremacist group Patriot Front.
Okay, Patriot Front. Patriot Front is a Fed front. Okay, everybody knows it. They're all feds. No one would touch it unless they were What's the word that we used to say? Oh, retarded.
Let's go where we disagree a little bit.
Yes, sure.
Let's hit race, because you're a white-only group?
So the organization only allows people of American ethnicity, and all Americans, I believe, come from Europe, so they're white.
The true heirs of the American...
Newsflash. This group disintegrated as soon as Doge started looking into finances of various departments of the government. I wonder why that is.
Yeah, no, I understand and talk to these guys, but I've also not brought anyone hateful. If I do, I'm going to be really on top of them.
But so you say...
I don't actually watch Jake Shields' podcast, but to say that he doesn't bring anybody on hateful, I think is a little bit wishful thinking.
That you haven't brought someone hateful on, right? People say, well, you brought on the Grand Wizard of the KKK, you brought on Patriot Front.
Yeah.
They're hateful.
No, I think those are excellent questions, but if people go and watch the actual interviews, I think they would be like, oh, this guy's not near as hateful as if I expect it.
If you listen to an interview of Adolf Hitler, he would sound like he very much loved Germany as well. But I don't think that really makes the conversation worthwhile. I don't know.
But Vera says hate isn't what the men she dated were really looking for.
One of these guys brought me to a political meeting.
And did they talk about politics?
Barely. They talked about, it was a bunch of men complaining about girlfriends and wives, regurgitating Andrew Tate type of advice about how to train your girlfriend, how to train your wife to be submissive. And so this group was supposed to be a political group, but they're talking about relationship problems.
All right. A political meeting. She was invited to a political meeting where they talked about their wives and girlfriends. Does this all smell like bullshit to you? I think it is. How much do you think Cosmopolitan made off of this article? How many clicks do you think it got? How much ad revenue did it generate? I'm gonna guess that this article was mandated. Hey, find us a good story about how said thing, Manosphere, blah, 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 is bad and makes people Republicans. Yes, of course. I wonder if they get the same money as these guys get to run these sort of things. Because who is going to pay this reporter to run a secret operation dating neo-Nazis for a whole year? Who's going to fund that sort of thing? Isn't it terrifying? I consider this highly suspect. And again, if this is the worst thing she has to say about them, good on you, boys. You must not have been that bad.
You don't need to be a neo-Nazi. You need therapy.
Perhaps they weren't neo-Nazis. Maybe they didn't call themselves neo-Nazis. Can you divulge more of what group exactly it is that you're talking about?
Podcast speaks to a need among young men in this country that Vera says can't be ignored.
You have to incentivize someone to want to be better. You can't just say, let's make men better. The thing about these guys is their biggest support system is online, but that also is very isolating, and isolation is what breeds hatred.
Groups like Patriot
Front breeds a lot of
offer
things.
community.
She's halfway right. I mean, yes, a lot of people, their only community is online, and it's a sad state of affairs. Does it breed hatred? Not any more than CNN, I would say, and all these feds here. The only white supremacists they can find are on the payroll.
Groups like Patriot Front offer community based on racism and hate.
People have to really think about, do you have the capacity to talk to people that you don't agree with? Because that one nice conversation you might have might change someone's day enough to not have to seek out help in an online support group, which is actually a bunch of white supremacists using political beliefs as an excuse for how they feel.
That's not going to cut it, having a nice conversation with somebody. Sorry, lady. We need a little bit more connection than that. You know, who knows, someone might be pretending to like us in order to extract some dirty secrets. Maybe a juicy story for Cosmopolitan. We don't know.
Donny O'Sullivan is here with us now. Donny, I'm so glad you've done this special. There's so much intrigue around this issue of the manosphere. And in fact, Trump is going...
Intrigue. Only from people who have no idea what it is.
...to the UFC tonight. How big of a role does the sport play in the manosphere?
I don't Donald Trump was at the UFC event. Oh no! The Manosphere will end us all. Donald Trump is going to the UFC? The center of the Manosphere? We're all doomed. Nazis will be walking down the street any second. So that was delicious, wasn't it? That was delicious, wasn't it? They will never understand. And what is this Manosphere anyways? If you know, let me know, because I don't know. It is whatever they want to condemn. It's the Manosphere. Man bad. Man bad. Man bad. But like CNN. Listen to CNN, because CNN good. CNN only lies when we try to lie to make you like good things that we like. We good, you bad. Man bad. Manosphere bad. Don't watch fighting bad. Fighting make you like Trump. Trump bad. Orange man bad. Orange man bad.
Mother